Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. Really excited to be sitting down with you for an hour this morning and talking about the launch of our Unchained trading desk. It's something that's been in the works for a while, and a lot of hard work, as you can imagine, has gone into it. It's a unique service, and we'll really get into today talking about all aspects of the trading desk and then also provide time for everyone to ask questions and comments and also provide feedback. We love all the input that we receive. Um, it's really pretty incredible when you think about the evolution of this. We've been offering the most secure way you can take out a Bitcoin-backed loan since 2017. Since 2019, we've been offering clients both on an individual basis and in a business context, the most secure way to hold Bitcoin. And now we're really taking a giant leap forward here, a milestone product in our view, in terms of the most secure way that clients can buy Bitcoin directly into a cold storage vault with keys that you can control. And this service doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. So we're very excited to be launching this today. And here with me to talk through the product and help you to understand what this means for you and how you can start to use it. So I've got Justin Evedon, who's our product manager of our trading desk, and Brian Donovan, our director of our trading desk. I'm Cam Stromey, our vice president of our client solutions team. So today we'll be spending about the first 25 to 35 minutes going through these topics. And as I mentioned, we'll have time for questions and answers at the end. Why buy Bitcoin through Unchained, how to get started, executing a trade, settlement of funds, and then what's on the horizon for our trading product, what's on our roadmap. There will be a replay of this webinar starting right afterwards, so it'll start at noon Central Time, so if you have to jump in and out, no problem. And then as we do with all of our webinars, we'll be posting this to our YouTube channel. So you can expect to see that in the next few days. And then just as one more final note before we really jump into it, at Unchained, we provide primarily custody services in helping clients to hold Bitcoin themselves. We provide a suite of financial services. The trading desk is what we're focusing on today. We've also offered loans, as I mentioned, and then IRAs as well. And then really kind of the third pillar of what we do is education. Webinars like this, webinars on operational security and best practices when it comes to managing your Bitcoin private keys. We have an extensive blog and many guides. So we really do spend a lot of our time engaging with our clients, helping you to be empowered and understand Bitcoin to the full extent. So please do check out our YouTube channel and use that as a resource for yourself and friends and family. But without any further ado, Justin, I'm going to kick it off to you, and please tell us why we should buy through Unchained.
Yeah, so good morning, everyone. Thanks again for joining. As Cam mentioned, my name is Justin Evedon. And to get started, talking through the value proposition of what makes buying directly through Unchained so potent and such a valuable offering, is that for starters, as Cam mentioned, being able to buy directly into a cold storage vault with keys that you can control is something that is very hard to come by these days. And we've been offering this as a kind of an OTC desk for, I think, a little over 2 years now. But that had only been available during business hours. So any opportunity to buy the dip on a Friday night or a Sunday morning coffee routine, you had to wait until Monday. Now with the trading tool available on our website, you can execute a trade 24/7. Not only is it important to be able to buy directly into your cold storage vault with keys that you can control, but you also reduce the number of counterparties that are involved when you execute a trade. You face us directly. The Bitcoin that you purchase is coming from our reserves. And because we're able to then deposit that directly into your vault, you don't have to go through the process of having that Bitcoin land in a hot wallet on a custodial exchange and then having to go through the process of executing an additional Bitcoin transaction to move it into an address that you can control. Combine all of that with our settlement time as soon as your funds have arrived by a wire. we begin the process of depositing that Bitcoin and put that into the mempool and try to execute that as quickly as possible. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the product roadmap, but a big part of what we're trying to do now is to increase the number of times throughout the day that we are doing settlements. And so as soon as your money arrives, we can go from, to the point where potentially we are executing that settlement same day. So well beyond anything that you can get with most other major US offerings. We're really excited to be able to bring this to you. I'll kick it over to Cam, who will start talking through what you need to do to get started and where it's available.
Okay, so here's the map of where we're available. We are in 30 states today. So we really worked hard over the past year, especially. Our compliance team has been diligently working, going on a state-by-state basis to acquire the money transmitter licenses we need. Each state has their own requirements, their own way of handling the licensing. So our goal is to get to all 50 states as quickly as possible. As you can imagine, some states are easier to work with than others. New York is notoriously the most difficult. So for the time being, these are the states in orange that you are able to buy and sell in. If you're in a gray state, consider moving to Texas. Consider moving to Austin. It's a great place to be around other Bitcoiners. Our head of business development, Parker Lewis, is always avidly recruiting people to Austin. So you'll be very welcome. And then you can buy Bitcoin. So how to get started with the trading desk. This is a snapshot of what you'll see in your account. So if you're already an Unchained client, you'll be very familiar with this dashboard. If you're new to us, you would have a username and a login on a browser, and this is your dashboard. Now, what we've highlighted here in the lower right are the steps to enable trading. So you might be at any of the stages that you'll see here, but it's a nice, easy way to track your progress. The first step is to create a vault. And so this is where right off the bat, this is our differentiator. We are going to be helping you to buy Bitcoin, but then we're going to be helping you to hold it virtually immediately after that purchase. As Jebby explained, you go to a Coinbase or a Gemini, they help you to buy Bitcoin, but then they're holding the Bitcoin for you, and there's a lot more friction in terms of getting that into your own hands. Right off the bat, we're going to help you to hold your own Bitcoin. We're going to help you to create a vault that's controlled by 3 keys. You hold 2 keys, and 2 keys are required to move the Bitcoin out of that vault. So you as our client are always in complete control of your Bitcoin. We never have control of your Bitcoin. We do have a backup key if you need our help. So Unchained, we're here as your security partner, your financial services partner, and then your educational partner. Tier 3 profile. So you'll create a tier 2 and tier 3 profile. The tier 3 profile is an additional level of know your customer information, pretty basic information that allows you access to our trading desk, also to our loans, and then to our IRA, so to our financial services. You'll be able to do that right in the platform. And then the third step is to add a bank account. So this would be the bank account that you use to wire funds to settle the trade after it's been executed. And then lastly, the fourth step, the trading agreement. So this is our terms of service, and I'll let Justin talk about this step in a little bit more detail.
Yeah, so our agreement is just basically a simple acknowledgement of some of the obligations that you as a client take on at the time that you execute a trade. So we want to make sure that those requirements are established clearly early on. But effectively, it just kind of outlines your obligation at the time you execute a trade. You have to then be in a position to wire us funds. It outlines the requirements in terms of when that needs to happen. So if you execute a trade earlier on in the day, that has to be received by the end of the business day. I think that we have a 2 p.m. central cutoff time, and any trades executed after that are going to, the wire needs to be received by the end of the next business day. There was a question kind of related to this that Nathan brought up in the chat, whether you need to send a wire in on a weekend if you execute a trade on that day. But any weekend or holiday, that requirement would be the end of the following business day. So you don't have to try and wire in funds on a Sunday. We're not here to receive it at that point anyway. We do have a slight difference in our trading agreements. If you are on a personal account or an individual account, you'll simply sign that agreement on a business account. If you have multiple users that are associated with that business account, the primary account holder is the one responsible for signing this agreement, going through this whole onboarding process. And at the time that they go to sign this agreement, it will present a list of all the other users, and they will be able to check which of the users are going to be authorized to trade. And that will then be appended to the acknowledgement form that they sign.
Perfect. Thank you, Justin. Those are the steps you would go through to be enabled for trading. Now, next, I'm going to pass over to Brian Donovan, director of our trading desk, and he's going to show you what it looks like to execute a trade and settle funds.
Thank you, Cam. Thanks, Justin. And excited to be here. As Justin alluded to earlier, we've been operating an OTC trading desk for roughly 2 years now. And, I'm just, really happy to finally get a tool out to our clients that's easy, seamless, and most importantly, available 24/7. So I'm just going to run through a demo through an account and talk you through the different buttons, where you can find the location of the tool itself, and then talk through the settlement process. I'm going to log in here. So this is our login page. As you can see, it's loading up, and it's going to take me directly to our dashboard. So what's really nice about the accessibility of this tool is that it's the button to execute a trade is located in the upper right-hand corner of your dashboard, but it's a header. So if you were to click around and look at the keys that you have on within your account, or you wanted to look at your different vaults, loans, no matter where you kind of navigate throughout our site here, you're always going to see in the header this Buy Bitcoin button. So it's always there. It's always presented to you. So to start off, to get a quote for a trade, is you click the button and you'll be displayed a modal here, and you're going to be asked some pretty simple things. You're gonna be given the opportunity to put in a quantity in both USD or Bitcoin terms, so you can denominate it in either fashion, and that's simply by changing by clicking this up-down arrow here. You'll also be presented with what your minimum and maximum trade size is. Just for reference, when you initially get approved to trade, everybody starts off with the minimum trade size of 5K and a maximum trade size of 100K. So in there, you can type away, and I could do 40,000. Type that in. You also do have both the min and max is a clickable link that will then populate that dollar amount into this field. So once you put in an amount, you're going to get an estimate. How much Bitcoin am I potentially buying? What does my fee look like? What's nice here is that we have a tiered fee structure, so that on a per transaction basis, you get charged 1% from 5K to 25K. You get charged 75 basis points from 25K to 50K. From 50K up, you get charged 50 basis points, and then any trade over 1 million would be a 25 basis points charge. We'll talk about pre-fund and post-fund, towards the end, but just know that the initial min and max of 5K and 50K is set up, but those are subject to change, throughout your time with us as a trading client. So the next step is to pick a destination, right? So one of the prerequisites to become a trading client was to set up a vault. So here, I have 2 vaults within my account, and I get to choose which one of those 2 vaults do I want to point this purchase to, so that when it settles, that's where it lands. So you can simply, from a drop down, choose which vaults you want to do, and then the preview buy button will now be clickable. So I have everything set up. I'm looking to buy 100K worth of Bitcoin. I want to get it to my vault number 1, and I'm going to click preview buy. Now from here, I'm going to be displayed with precise values, right? So there's my destination vault. I have my dollar amount that I'm looking to purchase, and now I'm being fed information on how much Bitcoin that's going to get me and the price that Bitcoin is that we are quoting to you right now. One thing that I don't want to gloss over, I think is pretty important, is that we are your counterparty. So when you trade, you are trading against Unchained, and the quote you are seeing here is what we are representing to you, what we will sell you Bitcoin at, the price of Bitcoin at. So as you might be looking, that you see these numbers are flashing blue and changing every 6 seconds. We are refreshing you with a quote, and that is live and actionable. As you keep going down, you can see the fee that you're going to get charged, and then in bold, how much you would need to wire us in order to settle that trade. Okay, so I'm looking at it. I like what I see. I want to buy it at around 19K. It looks good, so I'm going to click execute buy. Boom, order confirmed. So at this point, not only are you getting displayed that the order has been confirmed, but you should also be getting an email that gets sent to the email you have on file, letting you know that the trade has been executed, and that you can navigate into your dashboard to find those details. So here's the trade summary. Once again, vault, purchase amount, the quantity of Bitcoin, the fee, and the total wire amount due. So just want to, and then, okay, so then you can click statement and wire instructions here. And what you're going to get presented here is now, okay, where do I send the money? All right, so here is your wire amount that you need to send. Our bank is Silvergate. Here's our address, our routing number, our account number, etc. And at the bottom, we display some little bullets here. So the wire must be sent by 5 p.m. Central. Justin brought up a point earlier about a deadline or a cutoff time of day. So 3 p.m. Central is our cutoff. So if you execute a trade prior to 3 p.m. Central, you owe us the funds from this trade by the end of that business day. If you execute a trade after 3 p.m. Central, the wire is due by the end of the following business day. And so I think there was a question in the chat about weekends and whatnot, bank holidays, et cetera. So it's the same business day for prior to 3 p.m. Central, and then it's next business day after 3 p.m. Also, part of the requisites Cam alluded to or talked about was setting up a bank account. So when you set up a bank account, that is the bank account that our compliance team is approving, and the funds that you send us, we are expecting to receive from that specific bank account. It also would help to put the trade ID, which is right here, into the memo field of that wire. So now you have the instructions right in front of you. You also have the ability to download a statement to PDF. I can click this button. You won't see it on the screen, but I just downloaded a PDF to my local device, and I can save that, keep it for my records, etc. Okay, so now when I close out of this, I've finished executing a trade. I was displayed wire details. The next step is to proceed with the settlement. So you would go to your bank account, you would send that wire, and we would then on the back end be awaiting the receipt of that wire. Once we get it and our compliance team has approved the wire, we would mark your trade as funded. All right. At that point, you would receive an email from us saying, hey, we received your wire and your trade is now funded. And that's when we then move it along into our settlement process. So at that point, we do different batches throughout the day of settling Bitcoin to our clients for all the various products, and your settlement would go into the next batch for that day. I do want to just navigate and show you two other things within our dashboard. If you go back to the Buy Bitcoin button, you're going to be displayed in awaiting settlement, right? So at this point, you've executed a trade. We have not yet received your money. So right now you are in this awaiting settlement period. You can go back into this modal and check out the same wiring instructions that we displayed to you earlier in case you need to see them. And then they're also located on the downloaded trade statement PDF. And then one more thing is, if you want to go look at historical trades or even your most recent one, I can go into a documents hub over here, and I could see all my trades, and I could click the download button and once again download that PDF and get all those details in that file. I think that's it. I think I've covered everything from the execution of the trade and the settlement of funds. So I'm going to pass this back over to Justin.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian. Yeah. Good summary there. Obviously, settlement process, everybody uses a different bank, so we weren't going to go through specifics on how to wire, but just another reminder that we do currently only facilitate wires. And this kind of leads us into some of the things we have in mind on our roadmap for continuing to evolve this product. And one of the primary things that we're going to be working towards is right now, all of the trades are post-funded trades, meaning that you execute a purchase where you effectively enter into a contractual obligation with us. And you say, I am going to send you funds to cover the amount that I've requested to purchase. You then wire us funds. We don't currently facilitate ACH. And so post-funding is something that works well for some people, but not for everyone. And so what we want to do is we're building out functionality to facilitate pre-funding. Effectively, what that means is that you can wire us funds in advance of executing a trade, or eventually you'll be able to ACH deposit funds into a cash account that is held on your account. And then at the time that you execute a trade, we will then use that cash balance to fund the trade. This pre-funding model will significantly increase the speed at which we can settle and make final settlement of Bitcoin to your cold storage vault, because we'll have those funds on hand instantly to be able to begin the settlement process. Trading on post-funded trading effectively amounts to trading on credit, and that is something that we will still facilitate, although we will be shifting more of our attention towards making it easier for people to use pre-funded trading. Post-funded trading and trading on credit is something that will still be available. We're not entirely sure as we evolve the product how that will work, but that still will be an option that's available. The next big piece that we're going to be targeting is integrating this trading solution with our other product offerings. When providing trading with Unchained via our OTC desk, it was far more of a manual process, and this now provides an automated solution. We're able to provide real-time quotes on a 24/7 basis. And so we see opportunities on integrating this with our IRA product in particular, as well as our loans product. So with the IRA, not only being able to use this to execute your initial purchase of Bitcoin, where when you transfer in, say you roll over funds from another IRA, that can, in theory, then land into the cash account on your account, and then you would be able to execute that trade directly. as well as eventually being able to make ongoing contributions. Dollar cost averaging is often something that comes up, that is asked about, and in particular in the context of IRAs. That is certainly something that we want to be able to facilitate for IRAs in particular. Dollar cost averaging in general is something that we've had a number of people inquire about. We're not entirely sure where that's going to fit in with what Unchained offers, but certainly something that we've heard from our clients. And then on the loan side, there's a need to facilitate trades for the purposes of adding or removing collateral on our Bitcoin-backed loans. This can be something that instead of having to reach out and communicate with our team, you would potentially be in a position to be able to make those adjustments directly via the website on your own. Our mission is to put more of the control in your hands and to have you be able to dictate how and what happens with your Bitcoin through Unchained. And then finally, selling. We do currently offer selling, although there are some stipulations in terms of how we facilitate selling. You do still need to go through the trading desk. We don't offer that directly through the website. We are only allowing for the sale of Bitcoin up to the amount that you have purchased through us. But longer term, we definitely want to make this part of our web interface. Obviously, because it's currently handled directly with Brian and his OTC desk, selling is only available during business hours. So we'd like to get to a point where we can offer that on a 24/7 basis. So those are kind of some high-level notes on the direction that we're looking to build out. Obviously, we have other things that we're also strategizing on, and we are excited to be able to continue to evolve this product. This is really just the very beginning. So I think that pretty much covers the webinar. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. With the people that are watching this recording, if you have questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to our client services, and we'd be happy to answer questions. You can also just get started right away. For our live participants, we'll have a live Q&A shortly hereafter. But again, for both live participants or recorded participants, you're always welcome to reach out. We are more than happy to help. Our client services is always available. And we also offer our concierge client solution that will make it even easier for you to onboard and get started with our trading platform. So thank you very much for joining us.